Well, guys, I'm going to be on True Life. I'm in covering. Codie's going to do the documentary. I'm going to tell you why. I done pissed my friend off this weekend, guys.
Yeah, we got into it. Well, not really. We got into it today. You all will hear it unfold.
Yeah.
Yes, I was here.
Yeah, so
I watched it all go down.
So
it's
welcome,
riveting.
mamas. Here goes.
Oh, Melanie, do you want to do a half marathon with
Melanie,
with
don't let
Codie?
her start. Do not respond. I'm not responding
Does
to
anyone
anybody.
want a half marathon with Codie? Oh, Codie's doing
First
one.
of all,
I've done a half
Jade
marathon.
is my inspiration. Second of all, Melanie, I'm not her friend. I don't even like her anymore. Why are we here?
What happened?
Literally,
She doesn't
someone
believe in
said,
me.
who
She's
wants
a
to
jerk.
do a half marathon? And Codie gonna be like, I do. And me and Blair were like, girl.
Immediately, that was their response.
Would that be an inaccurate response?
Don't, Melanie, your face is suggesting that we're not friends either.
I believe that you would do a half marathon.
No, you don't. Why would you lie? You don't lie.
I don't know why she's tripping.
Who is this right now? You are always honest.
How angry I was with her.
I believe that she could do it if she made the commitment to do it.
Yes. I believe that too.
Don't speak. I don't like you. This is a
Don't
3-day-old
speak.
conversation.
I know just what
And I
you're
told her then,
saying.
I don't like
So
her.
please
I love
stop
you.
explaining.
And I said, if you do it, I'll do it.
I'm uninterested. I've already told Brooke, take me off the thread. I am not sharing with these women any time I put on sneakers.
Wait, so you're really
You're
going
not
to do
even
it?
gonna know my life. I'm not telling you.
Can I come to support you?
I absolutely don't want to see your face. I don't want to see your face.
Hilarious.
I thought about even entertaining this topic today, and I was like, you know what? It's too triggering. I thought I had a friend in Ashley, and she's not my friend.
Real bad.
She's not my friend.
Codie, I love you so much. Don't act like that.
You see how she says this every week? Every week she's like, oh, despite the things that I am saying out my mouth, I do love
Is
you.
this mean to tell someone that they're not going to do a half marathon when you know that they're not? That would be like me saying that I was going to stop doing something that you absolutely know that I'm not going to stop doing. Making jokes.
Making jokes.
Like if I was like, okay, I'm going to start making jokes.
You know what?
For Ramadan.
No, seriously.
That's not happening.
I can't stress enough, especially because I verbalized it multiple times, that I'm really annoyed with you and Blair. I'm used to Blair. No, don't awe me. None of it matters. None of your shaws matter.
Oh, friend, I love you so much.
No, it's too late, Ashley.
Come give me a hug.
I'm not hugging you. Guys, I'm not hugging her. Get away from me.
This is what the person who doesn't like to be touched always be trying to hug people.
Because
I love her so much. I do. And I do.
Oh,
Put
my
foot
word.
in my mouth. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm guessing, are we recording?
It's happening.
All right. Fine. Now the world can see how mean she is to me. And that she thinks hugging me makes it better. Which is really a form of abuse.
It is absolutely.
It's emotional
manipulative.
abuse. Yes.
1,000%, and it's working.
No, it's not working.
Yes, it is because you love me.
It's not working. I make sure I say it's not working in the microphone. It's not working.
Okay, listen. I would retract my statement. I said it jokingly because I thought you were joking. But
I wasn't joking. I'm going to be very clear.
Okay.
So a week or so ago, actually Jade ran the marathon, and I think she sent me her picture first. And then this girl that I know through some other people who was also an anchor on the Today Show, her name's Chanel. She ran the marathon and she like documented her process. And she's 45 and a mom of like 2. And it just was like, oh wow. Like she makes it not look easy, but she makes it like look clear, like the
Attainable.
steps. Don't try to finish my sentences. Thanks.
Hilarious.
level of anger is scary
So
as hell.
mad at you.
I can tell.
Okay,
I can tell.
I
It's a
just
Scorpio.
appreciated like
Yeah,
how
it's coming
Chanel like
out.
shared, and I was like, oh, I like it was clear, like it was clear when she started, like this was not her MO. And I've thought about like I used to run track, and play basketball
I know.
and volleyball. Don't. You're not allowed to speak.
I'm not allowed to
And
agree
so,
with you.
and so sometimes I am like, man, there are certain things I would like to accomplish in my life. And it's really just a matter of when I do it. Fix your face.
I am agreeing, but I'm not allowed to talk. So now I'm just smiling and nodding.
Great. Keep
Melanie,
it up.
help me.
Keep it
I'm
up.
listening. I'm here. Taking notes.
It's really about like the timing for me in my life. And so when I was looking at that, I was like, man, like, is it that time? Like, I don't know. And this is a marathon that I was looking at, right? So I didn't think much of it. And then Brooke is like, my friend Brooke, who ran track at UC Berkeley, she's like, hey, who wants to do a half marathon? And my immediate and authentic response was, I do. Because it was like, shit, if I was even halfway thinking about, is it time for me to run a marathon? That's crazy. But if my friend brings up a half marathon, I could do that, except for my dearest friend Ashley immediately replies,
My dearest friend Ashley.
"Ain't no way.
I didn't say that. I
I will
laughed.
call the witnesses."
I think I laughed first.
And it hurt me.
Oh.
It hurt me.
Oh.
And now she thinks it's funny to bring it up 2 days later. But
Okay.
I already told Brooke, because Brooke follows up with a group text thread
did.
and was like, "Hey guys, let's do this. Here's the like week 1, do this. Da, 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 da. Here's the 13-week countdown." I said, "Brooke, I'm not responding to these women. I'm not participating in any conversations further with these hoes."
Okay. Well, let me just say something to you. You can't pick your phone up when I say it.
Why? It's
that's
too late.
mean.
You hurt my feelings multiple times. Back
Oh
to
my
back,
God.
over
Okay,
and
listen,
over.
Codie, you have to. Okay, this is a serious
But
conversation.
you keep trying to troll me and then tell me that I need to receive it differently.
No, you don't.
Okay.
You smile when you say everything, right?
Because I'm a happy ass person.
No, your feelings were genuinely hurt.
Yes.
So for me, I joke a lot. And so I'm so used to like being sarcastic, joking with people. And this is something that I definitely need to work on. This is how I communicate mostly with like Nalo, my best friend. That's how me and Felicia communicate mostly, like smart ass comments. Probably me and Melanie. But you two are probably the more sensitive people. Melanie is very quick to be like, no. Like immediately her face will change, her tone changes, where I know like she's not playing anymore. That wasn't funny to her. Like I can immediately tell like if I've crossed the line with her. With you, you literally smile, and even how you're saying you're mad at me, you're still saying it in a joking way where I can't tell. Like,
because I'm never like, I know
no,
your
but
heart,
it really hurt
I
your
do, but it
feelings.
did hurt my feelings.
See, that's what
it
you.
did.
But you have to change your tone and be like, "Yo, I was being serious." Like, but we were all sitting at the table. You were laughing. Like, I'm mad at you. You were saying it in a joking way. Where I felt like now I'm like, maybe you were doing that because you didn't want to make it awkward. But like, yes, right. But it wouldn't have been awkward for me if you were like, yo, I'm being serious. I would have immediately stopped.
Well, here's
but because
the thing.
you were joking with me, I didn't know if you were really serious
The
or
reality
not.
is, I'm sure at least once I was like, yo, I'm really serious.
Yeah, but you said
but there was
smiling.
enough of you that thought it was hilarious. that was not a conversation I was going to win. Like, I was not going to be able to be like, no, seriously.
No, I would have stopped.
There was
if you would have
literally
looked
like
me
6
in my
people.
eyes
Okay,
like this,
I would like to
I'm being serious.
I would like to interject here. I think that in hearing the situation, it sounds like if she did want to bring it up, it's not something that was the right time to bring up in front of multiple people.
That part too.
Fair.
It would have been like, no, it's serious. All right, I'm gonna just eat it, and then be like, yo, you know what? On a one-on-one, like, yo, do you really not believe in me? Or like, don't dismiss my things.
Fair.
But the truth
I
is,
was actually just going to run the half marathon and then tell her.
So this is, I mean, I could act.
Well,
I
that
mean,
is the long game of
I
deep
said the lady who was going to get a bachelor's degree 2 weeks ago.
so listen, it's the funniest thing though.
Just
But
gonna come back as a marathon winner. Fuck.
No, but here's the thing. I think that you guys know each other so well that Codie's not going to be like, Codie's like, oh, that hurt, but I'm not going to take it personally and stop talking to you.
No,
like,
but
and the way that her and Blair was just keying.
it wasn't just us.
There was no,
other people laughed.
but it was like the focus over there.
I mean, I laughed, but not because I didn't believe in you. I laughed because Ashley's a
I am.
And
I'm
then-
gonna work on it.
And that's why it's so funny because I just know that Ashley is going to bust out.
Sorry.
I just know how Ashley
okay,
is.
here's
also
the
like
thing.
13 point whatever miles.
Okay,
Like,
so I will say
far
this
as
as
hell.
somebody
Not
as somebody
26.
who has run a half
You
marathon.
ran a half marathon?
I did.
This is insane.
and so did Liz. Liz has run a whole marathon. And Liz was sitting there like, we got
People
this.
who run whole marathons are a little crazy to me, but I'm just gonna be. But go to those
13
people.
miles is a lot.
13 miles is a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It really requires training. Your body
Yes.
will.
We didn't say tomorrow, just to be
Yeah,
clear.
no. It really requires training. And to this point, I think that it's really important that everyone who's listening, I feel like a half marathon finds you when it's supposed to. Like we all know marathons exist, but I feel like a half marathon or the challenge to arise to that challenge finds you in a season when actually like you're kind of like
I agree.
in consideration. And that's really how it felt me. I remember I woke up, it was 2013. And I remember saying, I want to do something challenging. Like, what if I would ran a marathon? And then I got a call from Nike and they were like, you want to run a half marathon? And I was like, yup.
Wow.
And I started training and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's really good for your mental. Your body will hurt. There will be lots of training and ice and rehab and all those things. But if you're in a season to challenge yourself, I really do think that if it's finding you and it's speaking to you, I support it.
I agree.
appreciate that thoughtful response.
I support it.
Oh my God. Okay. Like, we have to add some context here. I feel like when you're friends with somebody, right, you often look at them as like what they present to you. Okay. Now, when I'm talking to you about fitness and health and working out, Codie, you are often flippant about it. Sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to walk. I don't feel like walking, da, 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 da. So for me, the last interactions that we've had about working out and me just being like consistently like, girl, just run every day or walk every day. Even when we start talking about like possibilities of getting things done to ourselves. And I was like, have you tried just like working out every day for 30 days? And you're like, I don't have time. I don't have time. That's always your answer, is like, I don't have enough time to take care of myself. So for me,
So it's hilarious when I suggest.
like,
I mean, I'm just saying
yes,
that
I'm gonna
actually
tell you
doesn't help.
It doesn't help, but I'm going to tell you how my brain works. I do laugh at stuff that is, I probably shouldn't laugh at. I told you that I went to go look at my sister's body and I busted out laughing. Like, there's obviously something wrong with me. I'm fully clear that like humor is a defense mechanism for me. And so I place it in all areas. I think that I found it funny because not that it was funny, haha, but it was like, girl, you don't even want to work out for 30 days straight. So for when you said that to me, it wasn't trying to play you, but I was like, I thought you were joking.
I was just about to say, did you think that she was kind of joking?
Yes, I thought she was absolutely joking. Like, girl, you do not want to run a marathon. But the fact that you're telling me that you want to makes me feel bad, because I'm like, I 1,000% would support you. I would just work out with you just because I want to see you do something that you want to do. Like, that is, you have to know that's the type of friend that I am. I would be like, okay, girl, we gonna do this marathon, you know? But I actually apologize because I didn't know that you were having like thoughts of doing it and wanting to do it and getting inspired. Which goes back to my point. With me, I don't care about anyone else. When I cross a line with you, I need you to tell me immediately. Because if you don't, I'm not going to know that you're serious. You have to stop smiling when your feelings are hurt with me. That doesn't, it's just my brain. It doesn't register with me. Like that your feelings are really hurt when you're like, girl, stop. Like, I'm thinking that you're joking along with me. You have to be like, actually, that hurt my feelings. Stop.
Okay, so
like, that is not going to make me mad.
To be clear, I love you. I know your heart. I know you're not trying to be hurtful.
Right.
I know that. But I will say, I said multiple times in that conversation exactly where the inspiration came from. Like, these are not things I did not say. I'm
you
not
said
being
all of that on that day?
Absolutely.
Maybe
I was like, actually, somebody that I know just read it. Exactly. Like, that's with no jokes aside. Like, you guys were like laughing so hard.
We were. I'm sorry.
And so I'm not gonna stop the conversation with like 6 people.
Text me
to be like, hey, you're hurting my feelings.
Text me.
I hear you, but you're
the whole vibe
asking,
of the room. Like,
that's
girl,
okay
I'm
because
not playing.
because there
Stop.
were 2 people there that were very supportive, so I just leaned into that. And I'm just saying that's going to be that's going to be my defense mechanism.
Yeah,
I'm not going to stop the whole conversation to be like, okay, you guys are hurting my feelings.
I hear you. I'm just saying, I think for us, for me and you, I need you to be very clear with me when I hurt your feelings and be like, please stop.
I also didn't bring it up today. That was you.
I did, because I still
think it's hilarious and want to share with the world how funny I think it is. Like, look, Ashley, at the end of the day, like I said, I love you. I know your heart. But I would say that all the things are a bit rude.
Okay, you're right.
When you add them all up together.
Okay, fair. But again, I did not know. And I'm an advocate of, you cannot be mad at me about something that you did not tell me, because that's not fair. Like, give me the opportunity to fix it and stop it immediately.
Right. But what you're asking also is to do it on your time. It's like, I got annoyed in a group, or hurt. My feelings were hurt in a group of people. Okay. And you're saying, you have to tell me in the moment. You have to tell me. You have to text me. You have to make sure that I know. I talked to you
the next day, and the day after that, you still didn't tell me.
Because I wasn't like mad. Like, I wasn't mad. Like, I don't know who you are and that you're not a supportive friend overall. Okay. I did not bring it up today. Would I maybe have said something after today if this would have ended sooner?
We are now having an episode.
You also like to bring stuff up and like not let it go.
I do.
Even when we're recording.
I do.
My point is, you want me to bring up my pain on your time.
I don't see it that way, but yes.
Okay.
Well, that's not how I look at it, but I understand your perspective.
I've talked to you multiple times since. You know what I mean? Like, if I was like mad, we wouldn't be doing all the things we're doing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you get mad at people, but you're not mad, but do you think that like,
do you take inventory?
Yes. And then, so the more, every time I do something, do you feel like maybe your irritation grows a little higher?
I think it depends on the person. I literally, I can't imagine what you could do with all of the years. I mean, not even that many, but it's a lot in grown up years, like that I've known you. Like, I can't imagine what you could do where I would just like not like you or be like, this is my list of things.
Maybe if I joke one too many times.
Sure. But I haven't had an opportunity. Like I haven't had a reason to be mad that long. You know what I mean? Like it just,
well, okay.
We haven't had that.
Because I love you so much and I cherish our friendship and you too. I don't ever want it to even get to that place. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that all of us, I look at it like a marriage, right? Like my adult friendships that I've made. The way I look at our friendships is kind of how I look at it with Chia, where it's like, I know it's a safe space and this person has proven to me that they're like a good person and they're probably going to be a part of my life, like for the rest of my life. But then like, because of that, the person still may do things like from your perspective too, that irritate me. Right. And I also, this is why I consistently talk to Chia about the stuff that he does. Right. I also am fully aware that no matter how much I love him, I'm still a person. And there could be a day that I wake up like that little thing that you consistently do to irritate me. I don't think I want to be married anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like that happens to people all the time and it happens to friendships. So for me, I think that the reason why I tell Chia, like, please stop doing that or keep addressing it, even though he may do 90% of the things he does is great, but those one little things are like, but if it keeps popping up like every day or every other day, that could
But you have to say, like, to me, that's when you have to say something. If something is popping up consistently that like is creating a fracture, you have to fix it.
Well, I am consistently so
I was just gonna say, it's not Ashley's comedic timing is a strong part of her personality.
And it's great comedic timing.
But I think there's a difference between like hurtful and just like
dismissive.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, well, sometimes I can be honest, I don't always know not the difference, but something that I think is funny and is just a joke, like that would never hurt my feelings, could easily be for you like, that is absolutely not funny. So I'm telling you, I have completely inappropriate relationships with my mom, with Nalo, with my entire family. My father was like, I do not like the way that you guys joke in your house. Like that is, he finds it to be completely inappropriate. And so I have to completely change when I talk to him because he's like, I'm not your mom. Like, don't joke with me like that. So having that awareness is hard because you're probably like one of the first people that I become friends with that is more sensitive than anyone else that I know, which is not a negative. I actually find it very refreshing. Chia's like that too. Like he doesn't really have the same humor
I'd
as
like
me.
to pause.
Okay.
I would like to pause because I think you keep calling her sensitive. But but it's not that she's sensitive. You find her sensitive to your approach of communication.
Yes.
But she may not be sensitive.
Like I'm sensitive.
But somebody on the other side might be like, oh, well, no, you're just brash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't like to be called brash, even though you might be like, no, I'm a little brash.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the thing. I think it's the sensitive to the communication. Or it's just a different means of communication. Yeah. And, we talked about this the other day because we were talking about like life and experiences like girlfriends and friendships. And you were telling me some wild shit. And I was like, yo, I have never experienced anything like that with any of my friends, with any of people in my life. Like, I don't have
I want to know.
I don't have friendships.
Tell you off camera.
I don't have friendships where we troll each other. I don't have friendships where we rag on each other.
Yeah.
I don't, I don't like all of my friends. It's very like, I don't know. It feels more compassionate, I guess, in that space. So I don't like, it's weird. It's like, but I get that humor and I get that like dynamic and people, you got friends that just like rag on you, troll you, come for you, whatever. But I know that dynamic exists, but it's true. It's like when I hear, and now that I have more female adult friends as I'm older, I see that there are different dynamics. Like, girls who will cuss each other out and then just be hanging out the next day. And I'll be like, if you cuss me out and you disrespect me, we're going to have a serious conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what, too? I think that those relationships are so old that we've like grown together through different stages of life that they're more like, I would say inappropriate because of the amount of time that we've known each other and how we all grew up similarly. And I don't really have that relationship with a lot of my friends that I've made like as an adult. Most of those relationships are from us being friends for a very long time. So there's like an awareness that often lacks. Honestly, remember Crystal that I was telling you guys, like we fell out for a little while. And she's actually one of the people that was like, I cannot. Like the way you and Nalo are, and she's like, I cannot do that. Like you cannot talk to me like that. You can't joke with me. I don't like it. And so I'm not like that with her.
Were you ever like that with her? And she just kind of like outgrew it. And
and she's also like she's an Aries. She's very much going to speak her mind.
Oh yeah.
And so we would just argue and never understanding that like she just wasn't comfortable with the way that we spoke or I spoke to her. I'm going to take accountability for myself. And so knowing that like we had such a great friendship and I loved her, but there was like that barrier that created that fracture that we didn't talk to each other for 2 years.
Yeah, sometimes it's interesting to hear you say that. It's like you can't like argue. Like I find that I don't argue with any of my friends. Yeah. Like over just like debate. Like I'm hearing your point, you're hearing my point, but I'm not arguing. And there are relationships like that where you just will clown. You're going back and forth arguing. And I was talking to Jared the other day and we were talking about like personality types. And I'm very much the type of person where I am not just going to sit there and accept things from people. We know. Right? But Jared, on the other hand, is much more of an accepting. He's like, listen, I'm not going to change this person, so I'm just going to be here. And I'll be like, wait, somebody said something, did something. I'll be like, that's not cool. Just it's going to be like, whatever. And we were talking about the way the personality types are and how he's much more likely to just accept people for who they are. Right? Like, I'm just going to accept that that's who you are. I'm not going to really let it affect me or throw me off my path or whatever. Me, on the other hand, I am not as accepting of that stuff. If there's a quality in somebody in my life that I don't find enjoyable or it becomes offensive or uncomfortable for whatever that is. Some people would just be like, you go out with a friend and they're always causing a scene. You're getting you kicked out of places. They're loud. They always trying to find some smoke with somebody. Like it's always something. I'm not hanging out with that person anymore. No. Like, I'm not just going to be like, all right, well, guess we're all rolling out of the club now. No, hell no. Girl, I'm not going out with you anymore. Right? Whereas another personality would be like, that's just who she is. She's our girl. Yeah. No, I'm not that person. So, I think that it's important to recognize the different dynamics of where you're at. Like, some people are just like, yo, I'm riding and dying with that person because that's my person and that's and that's how they are. And that's just who they are. And the other people are like, nah, those aren't my people anymore.
No, that's fair. I think in my friendships, we've consistently tried to push each other to grow. I just think that the humor, there are just clear different ways that we were all raised. And honestly, like, it's funny that I keep saying sensitive, but my mom always called me sensitive because even though I feel like I have a lot of her humor, I still didn't joke the way her and my brothers would all the time. And I would be mad, like, I don't think that's funny. Right. And I would say that and they would be like, you're being sensitive. And then I would just shut down. But then it's so funny how you still adapt something that you don't necessarily like and it becomes a part of you. And now you're like, oh my God, am I acting just like the people that I had a problem with? You know what I mean? But I just think too, like, I am a silly person and I like being funny and I do have great comedic timing. It's a gift. But I think that having more awareness with people that I love, I think that's just what I'm saying to you. Like, and I'm not saying it in the best way. I just really love you. Oh my God, I feel very emotional. Oh fuck, I'm about to start my period.
No, you're not.
Well, I don't want to cry, but I'm going to. Why is this happening? Oh my God, it's so irritating.
Oh my God, because you're trying to not joke. That's why.
Yeah, see, that's why I joke. Because I don't fucking
laugh to hide the pain.
Yes. Oh my God, because I hate fucking crying and being emotional. And it's so irritating. I'd rather just be inappropriate and laugh.
We know.
I really love you and I hate hurting your feelings. I think I'm very sensitive to you, like, because I know how much you care and I care about you. And it actually really bothers me when you're mad at me because I'm like, that's not my intention. So it just like sucks. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want you to ever think that I'm trying to play you or trying to be mean to you. Because that's not how I feel about you. I want you to always feel loved and supported by me because that's how I genuinely feel. Like, I ride for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do whatever. I will literally... I would never want to run a marathon, and maybe that was like more projection because then I'm like, now I have to support her through this shit. Like, no.
Don't ask me to run 6 miles tomorrow.
Oh my God. No, that sounds so crazy. But like, I literally would, because I want to see you win and I love you. And so I really am sorry that I hurt your feelings and not like made you feel like I didn't believe in you. Cause that's not where that was coming from. It was just more like, do you really want to do this? But I also feel bad because I know how it feels for me when I say I want to do something that people assume that like I can't do or wouldn't do, and that hurts your feelings because you're like, you don't know me. You don't know what I can do or what I'm capable of. So even you being like, I was just going to run the marathon and prove it to you, that was like triggering for me because I'm like, oh my God, no. Like I feel that way about strangers or people that don't believe in me. Like don't ever feel that way or even think like that with me. And that's why where that coming from, where I was like, just tell me more so that like I can fix it and be like, so you know where my heart is from the situation. I just feel bad. I don't want to make you feel bad.
I appreciate that. And I don't want to cry either. And so sometimes I don't say how I feel until like I'm ready, like I can process and like articulate without crying.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes longer than, I probably would have cried if I said something in that moment. And there was literally like 6 people around the table laughing at me. Okay, like half of them. But all people that I love and that love me. But it was like,
I know.
like, and I get that everybody's response was rooted in something, but it was like, wait, no, this seems like a good idea. No,
that's whack.
But also I think it's important to like, to acknowledge, I think for you, Codie, and I want to know, in that moment, did you almost feel like it was a reflection of how people perceive you?
Yeah, for sure.
And did it make you question yourself?
For sure. Like it was like the three, it was like 3 hits at once. It was like first the quick, like thinking that this is hilarious. And so it was like, oh, okay. So people just think like I can't, like I physically can't, or I won't commit. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's not easy.
Yeah.
So there was no part of me that was like, I can do this because it's easy, So it was like, oh, so first it was like, oh, nobody believed, like multiple people don't believe that I can. And then it was like, well, maybe I can't. And so, but then it was like, but do I need to do it just to prove to everybody, like all of that was happening. And so I just kept saying like, wait, why is everybody laughing? Like, and then, a couple of people, Brooke in particular, because she's like the most encouraging human in the world, is like, no, you can do it. We can do this. And so I was just trying to latch on to that.
Yeah.
Because it was all of that. It was all of that for sure.
When you first brought it up, and the response was, I'm not friends with Ashley anymore because she laughed at me. It was funny because I know why Ashley was laughing, because I knew where Ashley came from. Ashley was just like, girl, you don't want to walk with us today, or we talk about how you don't have time to even care for yourself right now. But I think from the separate perspective, when you're sharing like, hey, this is something I'm thinking about doing, that's just not like the response that you were anticipating receiving, because you were actually like, hey, like, it's like if she were to be like, hey, Ashley, I want to create another TV show that's about this, you'd have been like, that's a bomb idea, right? So it felt like something outside of character for you, right? I think from Ashley's perspective, for like, from a time perspective.
Sure.
But even if she would have came, honestly, if we were talking on the phone and she was like, yo, I've been really thinking about doing a marathon, I definitely wouldn't have laughed.
No,
I would have been like, word? All right, well, I would have been like, you do know it's 13 miles, right? It was
the time and the setting, and I think it was
just her being like, who wants to do a half marathon? And her being like, me, and I'm like, girl.
And then there were other people there that you said were also taking on this energy as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Blair.
It wasn't just her either. There were two other people. There were 2 other people sitting next to
Tommy and Sean, right?
And 2 other people that shall not be.
No,
they were
other
right
Brooke.
Here.
Other Brooke is supportive
there was 2 other
of
people
anything.
who were sitting here that you're forgetting about.
Well, first of all, I said half the table. You want to just make sure I know exactly how many people was laughing?
Just that they're not getting in trouble. But
no, you're the one who brought it up today, friend.
I know. I'm talking about when it happened. I'm talking about when it happened.
But
I wasn't
nobody
the only
got
one
in
that
trouble.
laughed.
Everybody got in trouble that
Okay,
day.
so hold on. Forget who getting in trouble. Are you running a marathon or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
First off, it's a half marathon.
Okay, half marathon.
Second of all, what I like about, I understand everybody's feelings or perception, perspective, observation that like I am not consistently working out. But what I like,
I don't think it's about working out.
No, it's
or
about
running
time.
or whatever.
No. To be fair, I think you're totally physically capable. That is not even a question of mine. Remember when we went to the thing and I was like, yo, you are hella athletic. That little Nike thing. And I was like, what? Like I was surprised, like, damn, Codie, you are really an athlete. Like, so I'm already clear that you are completely athletically available. Not available. What is it?
Inclined?
Capable.
Lord, thank you. Capable of doing something physical and athletic. Like that was squashed out of my mind immediately when I saw you we went to the little Nike room thing and we were like kicking soccer balls or whatever. And I was like, I immediately can know an athlete when I see one. Mm-hmm. It's more so about you creating the time. Now that is something that's not laughable to me, but is like, you really struggle with making time for yourself. You overwork yourself consistently, where I'm like, Codie girl, like take the day off. You need a break. Mm-hmm. So it was straight from there. It had nothing to do with your athletic ability.
So what
that was about, yeah, sorry.
My point though was that it's also like a date in the future, right? It is a goal. There is a date. There's a deadline.
Yeah.
It's not like a random thing that Brooke brought up on some like, would you like to just start training for whenever?
Yeah.
You know, so for me,
a goal.
Yeah, it's like, okay, given the time allotted, like I could take those steps. Yeah. I can run incrementally or whatever. And so that's how I looked at it. In addition to the fact that completing it is the goal, right? Mm-hmm. If I do it in 100 hours, not that that's allowed, but if it takes a long time because I'm walking most of it, you know what I mean? Like that might suck, but like, can I complete it? Like that's, I literally like the frustration is like, can I complete it? And y'all are laughing. Like it just, it was a lot.
Yeah, no, that's
because
fair.
I'm not saying, am I going to win? Am I going to come in fifth? No, I'm like, could I do that? Could I set the goal and train and complete it?
Yeah.
I would like to say that I actually love this for you. I actually think that it's a really good goal and a really good idea and practice, I think, for you in dedicating time to something that still helps you feel accomplished. Because I think that knowing you as your friend, you are very driven by accomplishments. And so it's like, I want to get this done. I have things, I have a meeting, I have a deadline or whatever. So I think creating that space checks a lot of boxes for you with a half marathon, is that I'm doing something good for my body. I'm mentally challenging myself.
All of that.
I am dedicated to creating space for myself. And I actually think it's a really, really good thing for you. So for what it's worth, I am in full support of you doing that. And if you need tips or tricks or anything, I'm happy to share from my experience. But it's a really good feeling when you can set yourself up to be like, I never considered doing something like this, but now that it's here, can I do it? Oh no, I will do it. And the thing that comes from that, I think for anyone, is I can do hard things and I can literally accomplish anything I want to if I really want to do it. Like you said, whether I'm walking it or running it. So
did you run the whole time?
I ran the whole time.
Really?
I did. I did it in San Francisco too, which was a biatch.
Oh my God.
That was very hard.
I just cannot see myself running 13 miles.
Wait, by the way, in the midst of this conversation, this woman over here, Ashley, is like, what did she said something about, well, why don't we just hike 8 miles? Me and Chia, for our anniversary, we hiked 8 miles.
It was 10.
Whatever. And it was like, that was her alternative. It's like, let's do that instead.
You know what it is? I hate running. Like I have this hate because it is so, I feel like runners have the most mental strength out of anybody in the world. And running reminds me that I am not as mentally strong as I want to be. So I am very triggered by, Nala has done half marathons and she'll try to make me do them with her. And I'm like, girl, I can barely do a 5K without being like, I'm over it. There's something about running where you just tap into a whole nother part of your body because you have to keep going.
Well, it's interesting because I equally feel two ways about runners. I equally feel like, wow, runners are mentally fortitude. Like the mental fortitude is insane. Like how amazing is that? And then I also know a lot of people who are all very much running from something. And they're very intense people, and running is their way that they get manic. For like, it's like if there are manic people in their lives, running is that thing that like, I don't know what it is. I don't understand that. It's not me, but I do see a through line with a lot of people who have that. So, it's not just people who are just like, oh, I love running because my body's made for long distance running. Some people are really mentally, it's their meditation. It's however they escape, whatever they're not dealing with in their life. I see a lot of that. And running is not for everyone.
No, I think
I used to be a runner
or something.
I grew up being a runner, and the thought of running now wears me out mentally thinking about it. You okay?
Hiccup.
And a cough.
Yeah.
The thought of running right now is like, insane to me and be like, and I was just in New York and they did the New York Marathon and I'm seeing all these people. By the way, I would just like to say that I was in an elevator with 5 men and all of them were in the elevator and I was like, are you guys here for the marathon? And every single one of them was like, my wife is running. My wife is running. I'm here to support my wife.
More women
this
than
is her
men, right?
7th marathon. And I was like, women are so badass. Women are running these things. And I think that to me, the one that I ran was a women's marathon for Nike. And that was really, and this was before I had kids. So I really love the idea of seeing that one, men are out here supporting women doing these things. And women are the ones that are like, no, I'm tough. I'm made for hard things. I can do this. And I love that story as well for women. So I'll say that. I don't know where I was going with that thought, but yeah, like it is a special thing. It is a special thing.
Dude, that's sad because I don't even have enough faith in myself to think that I could run the whole thing. Like I'm 1,000%
like,
could walk it. Yeah,
but that's okay. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's okay.
So it's totally fine. There are people who walk. There's people who take time. Like, and it's very supportive. And it's
a book on tape,
literally about.
Movie on tape.
But when I tell you, when I went to go run the marathon, I was also in a season of I hate running. Like I don't want to run. Wow. But what happened is that I was also in a season of challenge yourself to do something you don't want to do, and that's what made me do it. Right now. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
But at that time, I wasn't fond of running. I felt like my running days were done. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh, you got the park right there. You should go running. And then I found myself, I found it became like this commitment I made to myself.
Yeah.
And I think that also too was where the season I was in. I just relocated. I was starting a new chapter of my life. I just fresh off a breakup, a new city. And I was like, I need to do something for myself. What do you want to accomplish for yourself right now?
Word.
And so I would travel. I remember going to Atlanta. I would find the routes. I'm running Piedmont Park. I'm like, where can I run? Where can I get these miles done? And then one day I was out here in LA and my goal was, I think, 8 miles. And then all of a sudden I was about to come to my end point and I just kept running. And then I ran 11 miles and it was my longest run before I ran the 13-1. And I remember I ran the coast. I was down in Redondo Beach and I was like, I feel like I have more gas. And I just kept going. And then I found this new route on the coast and I was looking at the ocean. And then I got home and iced the shit out of my knees. And I was like, because I know that that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
I had never run that far, but I was so shocked that I pushed myself to do that.
Yeah.
And then 13-1 came along and then you're running it at 5 a.m. in San Francisco and I'm running up these hills and I'm like, what have I done? What decisions have I made in my life to end up here? But at the same time, I kept going. And so, yes, I love the idea of anything. I think if it's a marathon, I think if it's anything, I think if you want to learn how to play guitar, I think if it's, do you want to challenge yourself to learn a new language, pick up Duolingo? Like, I don't care. I think it's always important for us to find ourselves in seasons where we challenge ourselves to learn something new, to prove to ourselves that we are capable of doing whatever we want. And I think for women, very, very important to do so because we have risen to those occasions, I think, in motherhood a lot of how we were able to do things that we didn't think we could do, carry, make children, push them out of our vaginas, recover, whatever it is, run businesses, all of it. But I think the things that pour back into us that are solely for us are the things that make everything else worthwhile, truly.
Yeah, I concur.
What are you going to do for yourself this year, Ashley?
Stop being a smart ass.
So wait, are we laughing at that?
Yes.
Okay.
I just laughed.
If that's something that you wanted, I would support you.
Not the cackle.
I just laughed when I said it because that shit was funny as hell.
You're like, no,
I will. I can and I will. No, I mean, I think for myself, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know, girl. I don't know.
You're like, I have 4 kids. I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the marathon with Codie. I don't know. You know what I mean? Why do I keep saying I don't know?
Because you don't know. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it is worth
I'm at right now.
I think it is worth something to think about. But again, also, I don't think anything forced. Like, I think that these things come to you in the seasons when they do, like when they're supposed to.
I want to write more. I just need to. That is what I need to do for myself is to spend more time writing. But also on a physical note, I haven't worked out in almost 3 weeks because after we had COVID, I just was like down bad. And then I keep telling Chia like, oh my God, I didn't work out today. And then I don't. So I think just being more mindful of that, and because spending more time with my body. Like I know there's like I want to take some ballet classes. I really keep saying I'm going to be a 40-year-old ballerina and go back to ballet. And like,
I love it.
By the time I'm 40, just be like back on point.
Get your
again.
Aunt Viv on. I'm into that. No, but I love that. Like I think that those are really take a dance class. First of all, I love to dance. You guys know I love to dance. And I tell this to Ashley all the time. I feel like in another life, I would have been a dancer. Like the way I feel about music and dancing.
Do you like to dance, period, or you like choreographed dance? No,
so I love to dance, period. But I feel like choreography to me is one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, I agree.
When I see people hit a choreography in a class, I'm just like, oh, can I play too? Can I be a part of your crew?
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I'm just not good at it.
Yeah,
well, let's take a dance
Don't
class
tell me what to do.
together.
I can't do it.
No, but I think that's actually, those are the things that we should, is allowing ourselves to be imperfect in that process.
Yes, I agree.
And challenging ourselves to learn something new. I often always think about it. I'm like, what do I look like going to take a hip hop class right now? I'm like, it'll probably be a lot of fun. But then I'm like, if somebody gets me on camera, I'm going to be really upset. You know what I mean? So it's like creating the spaces though. But like, could I get a choreographer and just go do some one-on-one classes?
Yes.
Sure, I could.
Or we could do a private class.
I would love to. Honestly, I would love to. I think it's really, choreography to me also is not just, it's a mind-body connection, and it's also an exercise for your brain.
Yep.
Which I think is really
memory.
Yes. And then also the freedom of actually just allowing your mind to work without thinking. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that I love about dancers, is that when you see a dancer freestyle, you're just like, wow, what is happening that you're moving this way without thought? Yeah. This is free expression. As an artist, I love it. You know, I love seeing that. I love seeing people be in free expression. So I think that's why dance is so enticing to me. So yeah, I definitely think some dance classes are in my future.
Let's go.
I think, we can make this happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you want to do the marathon and some dance classes?
I'm definitely not doing a marathon right now.
You know what? Don't wink at me. I don't know what that means.
I love you so much.
My goal right now is to just walk 3 miles a day. That's where I'm at.
That's where I was before I got sick. But, oh, child.
I bought a walking pad for the record.
Oh, do you love it?
I love it.
And so there's nothing holding.
There's nothing holding it. There's nothing holding it.
I get a little nervous.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to, but if you walk slow enough, you're not gonna get dizzy or fall off.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're doing it for work purposes, you can put it under a desk.
Yeah.
And if you're on your computer a lot or you're on a Zoom, that you can just be like, hey, and so you could just accumulate these miles without even thinking it. I'm like, the TikTok girls definitely got me because I know it's a thing. Yeah. Well, we had a big ass treadmill and we got rid of it, and I regret it every day, because now I also think to myself, listen, at the end of the night, look, even if let's all be clear, there's some point in our day we're going to be scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do that for 15 minutes, let me get a mile in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I could do that on my phone.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, if I'm on a conversation rather than pacing around my house, let me just step on this walking pad throughout the day.
Because it doesn't, you know what the thing is, it doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in. When it's dark, no one
I
wants
don't
to
want
go.
to walk outside in my neighborhood.
It always seems like your free time comes like, okay, all my kids are asleep. I could actually walk, but you're like, I'm not about to go walk in the dark by myself at night. But we used to have a treadmill in Ohio, and I literally would walk every single day on that treadmill at night and watch Real Housewives.
Yeah, you can watch a show.
Yeah, that's what I used to do in our real house, because our
real house.
What did we have? A stepper.
For the record,
an elliptical. Oh, it was in the garage with the TV.
For the record, a real house. Our real house. That's so funny.
Child, we had to come up with so many names because of the kids, you know? So it was like the real house. Then we were in an Airbnb, but we knew the owner. So it was like Abdul's house.
Shout out to Abdul.
That's for real. He's a good guy.
Well,
we've learned a lot today.
We've learned a lot today. Life and friendships are marathons. Word. We love you.
Word. Love you.
I love you,
Ashley.
Codie and
Thanks,
Melanie.
for mediating this
That's what I'm here for. It's the Cancer, Capricorn, Scorpio connection.